जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त विंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त विंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त विंद. Reading from Chaitanya Chaitamrita Adi Lila chapter 3 text number 98.
रखते ना उधर नहीं होगा नहीं.
Others can mute the lines. लोकगती देखी आचार्य करुणा हृदय विचार कारेण लोकेरा कैचे हित है. लोकगत गति देखी आचार्य करुणा हृदय विचार कारेण लोकेरा कैचे हित है. लोक गति देखी आचार्य करुण हृदय विचार कारेण लोकेर कैचे हित है. Translation. Seeing the activities of the world, the Acharya felt compassion and began to ponder how he could act for the people's benefit. Purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This sort of serious interest in the welfare of the public makes one a bona fide Acharya. An Acharya does not exploit his followers. Since the Acharya is a confidential servant of the Lord, his heart is always full of compassion. His heart is always full of compassion for humanity in its suffering. He knows that all suffering is due to the absence of devotional service to the Lord. He knows that all suffering is due to the absence of devotional service to the Lord, and therefore he always tries to find ways to change people's activities, making them favorable for the attainment of devotion. That is the qualification of an Acharya. Although Sri Advaita Prabhu himself was powerful enough to do the work as a submissive servitor, he thought that without the personal appearance of the Lord, no one could improve the fallen condition of society. In the grim clutches of Maya, the first-class prisoners of this material world wrongly think themselves happy because they are rich, powerful, resourceful, and so on. These foolish creatures do not know that they are nothing but play dolls in the hands of material nature, and that at any moment material nature's pitiless intrigues can crush to dust all their plans for godless activities. Such foolish prisoners cannot see that however they improve their position by artificial means, the calamities of repeated birth, death, disease, and old age are always beyond the jurisdiction of their control. Foolish as they neglect these major problems of life and busy themselves with false things that cannot help them solve the real problems. They know that they do not want to suffer death or the pangs of disease and old age, but under the influence of the illusory energy, they are grossly negligent and therefore they do nothing to solve the problems. This is called Maya. People held in the grip of Maya are thrown into oblivion after death, and as a result of the karma in the next life, they become dogs or gods, although most of them become dogs. To become gods in the next life, they must engage in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, they are sure to become dogs or hogs in terms of the laws of nature. The third class prisoners, being less materially opulent than the first class prisoners, endeavor to imitate them, for they also have no information of the real nature of their imprisonment. Thus, they also are misled by the illusory material nature. The function of the Acharya, however, is to change the activities of both the first class and third class prisoners for the real benefit. This endeavor makes him a very dear devotee of the Lord, who says clearly in the Bhagavad Gita that no one in human society is dearer to him than a devotee who constantly engages in his service by finding ways to preach the message of Godhead for the real benefit of the Lord. The so-called acharyas of the age of Kali are more concerned with exploiting the resources of their followers than mitigating their miseries. But Sri Advaita Prabhu, as an ideal acharya, was concerned with improving the conditions of the world situation. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmitan Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swamrupa Kadha Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sijata Padakamanam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathavitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savuttam Pariyana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamsya हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकांत राधाकांत नमस्ते सप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु भयैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले कृताश्च अद्वैत स्वामी नामिने लोक गति देखी आचार्य करुण हृदय विचार कारण लोकेर कैचे हितहाय. Seeing the activities of the world, the Acharya felt compassion and began to ponder how we could act for the people's benefit. So here in this chapter titled The External Reasons for the Lord's Appearance, we find how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami um, alludes to these external reasons of the Lord's appearance. There are, in this chapter, in the earlier verses, we see mainly three external reasons for the Lord's appearance as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this age, in this Kali Yuga, is mentioned. Right? Lord Krishna appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for these three external reasons. First is to inaugurate the Yuga Dharma of Kali Yuga, right? As a Yuga avatar of Kali Yuga, to inaugurate the Yuga Dharma of the Kali Yuga, which is the congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord, right? So to inaugurate the Yuga Dharma of this age, the Lord appears, right? And in the earlier verses, we see the Lord is missing out, that it has been some time that I haven't bestowed Prema Bhakti for a long time. So to bestow Prema Bhakti or Raj Prem, the Lord appears. That's the second external reason. To bestow Prema Bhakti or Raj Prem, the Lord personally appears as, Lord Krishna personally appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna Vanam Tvisha Akrishnam. Right. Krishna Vanam Tvisha Akrishnam. Sangha Panga, again personally. Yagye Sankita Prahai Yajanti Isumedasa. Yagye Sankita Prahai Yajanti Isumedasa. Intelligent persons will worship that form of the Lord. Right. Who is Krishna? But he comes in the Akrishna form. The Sangha Panga Parsadai. He does not come with his weapons, but he comes with his associates, with his plenary portions, right? In this chapter, we saw how on these words, Krishna Vanam Tusha or Krishnam Sangapanga Parsadahi, uh, um, the words is explained from 50th verse to 83rd verse, 23 verses are there to just explain this verse of Krishna Vanam, that there are two forms of Krishna Vanam, right? And then it is explained about this Tanga Panga, Anga, Anga or Ansha. And then it explains about Anga, Upanga, about these plenary portions of the Supreme Lord, that when the Lord appears, Lord Nityananda and Advaita Acharya, the plenary portions of the Supreme Lord. Lord does not appear alone, right? He does not appear alone. He appears with his associates, right? He appears with his associates. And he's establishing the Yuga Dharma of this age, right? Yagyai Sankirtan Prahi, for the Sankirtan Yagya, right? He comes with his, not with his weapons, but with his kartals and dhol, right? And his associates, right? So, and then the third reason, which is explained in this chapter, is to fulfill Advaita Acharya's appeal. Advaita Acharya, seeing the activities of the world, as it's mentioned in these words, he feels compassion and begins to ponder how he could act for the people's benefit. And Srila Prabhupada nicely so explains in the purport that a real bona fide Acharya will will, if the surroundings, there is a lot of religion going on and people are suffering, people are suffering because of lack of Krishna consciousness. Uh, they may feel puffed up, thinking that they don't need the Lord with their aristocracy, with their resources, what they have. They may feel themselves as controller, not thinking that each and every moment, without the lack of Krishna consciousness, they are dying at each and every moment. Right? They are dying at each and every moment without Krishna consciousness. And they are wasting this most valuable human form of life. Right? They're wasting this most valuable human form of life, not knowing what would happen the next moment. Right? We see around us otherwise rampant miseries. World right now is poised, and at any time, no, you think that maybe a world war can happen. Right? It is poised like that, and all different places. We just see miseries, 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 miseries. And Advaita Acharya, seeing those miserable condition of the activities of the world, he feels compassionate within his heart and starts pondering how we should act for the benefit of the people. Not that an Acharya becomes, oh, that, oh, uh, what to do? I'm considered as a god. I'm not God, but I'm considered as a god by my followers, so I may be God, right? Uh, so they're bogus gods. bogus acharyas who exploit the resources of the followers. They manipulate their followers so that they can exploit the resources of the follower. Right? They are not at all feeling the compassion that they should work for the deliverance of the follower. To uplift the follower, they do not think about that, but they think, oh, how I can use the resource of the follower for my own sense gratification, which could be in different forms, subtle as well as gross sense gratification. Subtle sense gratification in the form of nam, la, pratishtha, gross sense gratification in the form of so many sinful activities. Right. So, but a true acharya always ponders of different ways where he can spread Krishna consciousness. And in this condition, he completely submits to the Supreme Lord. That it's time for your appearance. Oh, my Lord, please appear in this age. The whole age, the whole uh, age, you see quarrel and hypocrisy, you see people degraded, right? And they think themselves as gods, but they are dogs. And ultimately, they waste their human form of life, and they'll either be dogs or gods. Most of the cases, dogs and hogs. And if they have performed devotional service in their life to some extent, they become gods. Gods means the servant of the Lord, the servant of God. Right. And that's how we see um, Advaita Acharya is feeling. Right. he he feels himself, Advaita Acharya himself was powerful enough to do the work, but as a submissive servitor, he thought that without the personal appearance of the Lord, no one could improve the fallen condition of society. Right. Himself is Sadasi, himself has the power to do the work, but he, as a submissive servitor of that plenary post on the Supreme Lord, um, serves the Supreme Lord, right? Just as Lord Shiva, always meditating on Sankarshan, right? Advaita Acharya worships, right? And how does he worship? He performs the worship of the Saligam Sila, and does Abhishek with Ganges water and offers it Tulsi, and uh, fervently praying for the appearance of the Lord, right? That please appear to improve the fallen condition of this society. Now is the time to establish your Yoga Dharma of this age, to establish the mode of deliverance of this age. There are different mode of deliverance in different ages. Meditation in Satya Yuga, elaborate fire sacrifices, yagyas in Treta Yuga, elaborate deity worship in Dwapara Yuga, and congregational chanting of the holy name in this age, which was not yet established. Mahaprabhu, uh, hearing the appeal of Advaita Acharya, descends and establishes the Yoga Dharma of this age, right? And intelligent persons worship that Supreme Lord, right? Yajna Sankirtan Prahai, Yajanti Hisu Medesa, that intelligent persons worship that Supreme Lord who appears to establish this Yoga Dharma of this age, the Sankirtan Yajna, right? Otherwise, people in general, being in these grim clutches of Maya, right? Um, the first class prisoners of this material world wrongly think themselves happy, right? For a moment, their senses are satisfied and they think themselves as happy, right? Not knowing that at each and every step there is danger on the corner, there is distress around the corner, right? So, with the power, with the wealth, the resources, they want to forget the Supreme Personality of God and there is no Supreme Lord. And Srila Prabhupada, no, no. Uh, we see here that strongly, in strong words, condemn that they're just dogs and hogs, wasting their life, being in the clutches of Maya, being in the clutches of Maya, who, dispels a illusory energy and makes people uh, come under that illusory energy and feel themselves that, oh, even in this uh, desperate situation, um, where they should cling to the congregational chanting of the holy name. Instead, they want to enjoy separately from the Supreme Lord, right? Want to enjoy separately from the Supreme Lord, just like dogs and hogs, right? And as a result, they waste the human form of life, right? Yeah. The third class prisoners, being less materially opulent than the first class prisoners, what do? They also waste their life endeavoring to imitate the first class prisoners. They, oh, the grass on the other side is green, let me go there. So they try to imitate the first class prisoners. Those who are rich and opulent and wealthy and having all resources, they are also in this jail of Maya. And these third class prisoners, they try to imitate and they come from one jail to another jail. Right? They come from one jail to another jail, thinking that the grass is green on this side. And basically, they're just switching from one jail to another jail, where also at each and every moment there is misery. The misery does not go on or go away. The onslaught of Maya is either it's at both places, in the third class prison as well as the first class prison. As a result, both the classes of prisoner are inflicted by miseries in form of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, or additionally these three miseries, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. Otherwise, in the most uh, wealthy nation, everybody would be just happy. But we see here, one out of every five person is diagnosed clinically depressed. Is diagnosed clinically depressed. One out of every five person. So why the first class prison? People are suffering and people are feeling distressed because of lack of Krishna consciousness. And Advaita Acharya, seeing that condition all over, petitions to the Supreme Lord. Oh, my Lord, please appear and establish the Yoga Dharma of this age. And Mahaprabhu comes with Lord Nityananda, who is non different than Balram. Balram Hoilo Nitai, right? Dina Hina Jatashilo, Hari Name Udarilo, Tara Shaki Jagai Madai, right? So Mahaprabhu, non different than Krishna, right? Brajendra Nandana Hoi, Brajendra Nandan Hoi comes as Sachi Sutta, the son of Mother Sachi. Brajendra Hoi, Sachi Sutta Hoilo, Balram Hoilo Nitai. right? Lord Balaram comes as Nityananda Prabhu, right? And what is the evidence? Dina hina jatashila, hariname udalilo, right? The most fallen are being delivered by this hariname udalilo. And the evidence is Tarasaki, Jagai Madai, the deliverance of even the most degraded, Jagai and Madai, right? By this causeless mercy of Mahaprabhu, right? So, and his followers like Lord Nityananda. And that's why we see the Pancha Tattva, Tattvamakam Krishna, Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam, Bhakta Avtara Bhakta Kyam Namami Bhakta Saktikam of Lord Nityananda, Lord Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit and Srivas Pandit. These five comprises the complete absolute truth. And Mahaprabhu appears, these five and then many, many other associates, right, who help Mahaprabhu in spreading this congregational chanting of the Holy Name of the Lord, which is again another second external reason for the Lord's appearance in this age. To establish the Yoga Dharma, to establish Vraj Prem, right, Prema Bhakti, to spread Prema Bhakti, and uh, to respond to Advaita Acharya's appeal. Um, Under Advaita Acharya's appeal, the Lord descends. Right. Okay. Are there any discussions on this point or questions? Anybody would like to add anything? The session is supposed to be more interactive. We see a lack of participation today because, yes, some devotees had gone to New York for some of our devotees getting the mercy of Mahaprabhu and joining the Sampradaya Brahma Madhav Gaudiya ISKCON Sampradaya by taking formal initiation so that officially they can begin their process to participate in this mission of Mahaprabhu. Yeah. Any discussions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for nice class. Prabhuji, yeah, these verses. And Tuesday, I had to give class for the Chaitanya Charitamrita, so I was just going through that. So, Advaita Acharya, he was worshipping to descend Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on this in this world, right?
Yes.
So, in the class, we can talk like all these internal and external reasons also, Prabhuji, because 1 hour class, what should we talk? Because my verses, only one verse has purport, and that is saying he was just offering tulsi leaves, and because Krishna feels happy, he feels like, oh, my devotee is offering me, so I had to just take care of devotee. And so, what should I talk, Prabhuji?
Recap what happened before the words, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then highlight on the external reasons, right? There are two other external reasons for which
Yeah.
Mahaprabhu appears before this third external reason of appealing of Advaita Acharya. So highlight on that.
Hmm.
right? There's so much material you can cover. You just don't have to cover. You can cover with what happened before the
Hmm.
words. Then you can talk about the words. So that how that words came about, what's the reference of that words is well established.
Hmm.
Right. Then you talk about the words that oh Advaita Acharya. What is who is Advaita Acharya? Then you can elaborate on Advaita Acharya. And then at the same time, if it's a very short purport and you don't have much to say,
Hmm.
nobody, there's no rule to say that no, we have to stop there. You can go to the next verse and talk.
Next verse is assigned for then another devotee.
That's
So
all right.
let's
That's okay.
we can talk. Still
That's all right. You can still go to the next verse.
okay.
If today's purport was not big enough, I would have gone to the next verse,
Hmm.
right? And in
Mm-hmm.
the past, I have gone to next verses like that. If the purport is not big enough and you don't have much to share on that
Hmm.
purport or share on that words rather. So that's where it's important that we highlight things around that verse
Hmm.
before that verse itself, a little bit beyond.
Yeah, we can talk in detail first, like the external reasons, right?
Yeah,
And then related to that, we can um, just correlate the verses with that pastimes.
yeah. Correlate the verses, correlate evidences around that verse
Hmm.
while you're discussing the external reasons. No, not to jump into the internal reasons because there'll be a separate session on the internal reasons. Entire chapter is there. Next chapter is internal reasons,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So you can hold on to that.
Okay. And Prabhuji, this is like next class, like Jersey City Bhakti Viksha. I am giving that class. So the science of self-realization. So all these like Back to Godhead magazine, those letters are there that publisher publish all these things because there is interview, right? There interaction, like conversation between Srila Prabhupada and devotee, like from Irish poet and like that.
Uh-huh.
So how to articulate Prabhuji that, like starting how to articulate that.
Well, you articulate whatever passage you are reading.
Hmm.
What's the understanding of that passage? What's the salient feature which comes out of that passage?
Hmm.
Right. Is that just a story? No.
No
There
question.
would be some
Yeah.
striking, Srila Prabhupada in any conversation with anybody, you would be making some point.
Yeah.
So highlight on that particular point and then elaborate on that point with evidences,
Okay.
right? Because that's a realization which comes,
Hmm.
right? What did you discover from that verse? What's the understanding?
Hmm.
And how do you practically apply?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you for your guidance, Prabhuji. All.
So that ultimately, when you break it down in those three, then the hearer, any bhakti vikshas,
Hmm.
they immediately kind of understand, oh, this is what I got from the class.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank
Prabhu.
you. Nice, nice question. Anybody else? Or
Sachima. with the
Brahma Prabhu is also chanting Hare Krishna there.
mm. 50 devotees got initiated, right, Prabhuji? Like double, yeah, like
Eight. From
session
our yatra, eight devotees.
from our congregation, 8 devotees.
Yeah, four devotees got first and four devotees got second.
Oh, well, I know Sachim Animata got second. Who else got second initiation?
Sachi Mata, Salini Radha Mata,
Oh, wow.
uh, uh, Asta Sakhi Mata, and Rasika
Oh, Radha.
Radha Mata. Yeah.
Very nice.
So four of them got second initiation,
Very nice. Yeah. Hmm.
and four of them got first initiation. Yeah, good.
I know Sarita Mataji got first, and that Ayodhya Kumar Prabhuji, right? Dubey Prabhuji. He,
Yeah, Avdesh Prabhu.
and who are they two? Other,
Well, Lakshmi Shamla Mataji. There's another Mataji, Lakshmi Shamla Mataji. So that's third, and then fourth was who the names I mentioned, right? Sarita Mataji,
Jai Shri Mataji. Jai Shri.
Jayashree Mataji. Yes.
Mataji, yeah. And who is Lakshmi Shamla Mataji? I don't know. Maybe,
Okay, so we associate more with the devotees of the yatra, and you'll know.
yeah, I will.
Also, they also come to our temple.
Very nice. Our congregation is growing.
Mm, yeah,
We have a lot of Brahmanas now.
get into the roster and do services. Make every day chapan bog. And not only make chapan bog, but then make sure that
Services.
it's nicely honored. So distribute it also.
Hmm.
Otherwise, cats and dogs and mice and all who become devotees in our yatra.
Yeah, mood should be like we should have that bhav to do more service,
Yeah, more distribution.
more distribution.
So
Yes,
initiation is not the end, it's the beginning.
the beginning. Yeah,
People many times think, oh, now I'm initiated. Oh, so now everything is over.
well,
No, that's the
more.
beginning. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Revolve. Anybody else? Tomorrow is Gundicha Marjana, also Ekadasi. So we are celebrating Gundicha Marjana tomorrow, but otherwise it's Ekadasi, minimally fasting from grains and beans, increasing our services, right, and our absorption.
Prabhu, are we having Bhagavatam tomorrow?
Yeah, there'll be a live Bhagavatam at the temple at 7, yeah, after the Sringar Arati, there'll be Bhagavatam, 7:45, in between 7:45 to 8. The Bhagavatam will start, it will go on till 8:45, 9, and then devotees can take breakfast and then start Gundicha Marjan.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we are also, those who don't know, Param Brahma Prabhu has joined our yatra. Is a disciple of Kadamakanana Maharaj, has served many years in the movement. He's from Punjab, but then he served more than 10 years in Australia. Lately, for last 2, 3 years, he's serving in Brooklyn. Now he has moved here to our yatra to spread Krishna consciousness. So he's hardcore in preaching. So please all assist him in his endeavor to preach Krishna consciousness, because that's his mood of preaching, and that's how we see in his profile photo, just preaching the congregational chanting of the holy name. So, yeah, if you know of any devotees wanting to have home programs, or he'll be ready to come. His primary service is going to be book distribution, preaching, and is preparing for his next phase of preaching more and more, and hopefully go to the next ashram, sannyas. Okay. Brahma Prabhu, you can show your photo so that everybody can understand.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. No need to do all these things, Prabhu.
So that they can relate to you that, oh, this is a devotee whom we are
No,
talking.
I'll meet everybody in
I,
life.
Prabhuji, yeah, you were there. Right? Other day he gave class, na, on our Zoom Bhagavatam class.
Yes, Bhagavatam classic area.
We met on Sunday also. Was there?
Okay, yeah, good, wonderful.
Welcome, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji, everybody. Please pray for me. Need your blessings, everyone's.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
So we'll end the class. Thank you very much, and we'll meet all tomorrow for this wonderful Gundicha Marjana Seva, so that we can start our Ekadasi. Fasting with real purpose, that okay, I'm fasting because I can do more service. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. वैष्णविंद की जय,
Shri
श्री चैतन्य चैतामृता की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि
Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Haribol.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Haribo.